Hey, just a few days before we went out and filmed this episode, my wife Kim and I were playing out on Wilson Lake. And you really don't have the water clarity on Wilson Lake or any of the Tennessee River that you have on Smith Lake. But we had one of those rare scenarios that happens that this bass was spawning by this rail. It was just this big, like old causeway that was in the water that had this railing down it. We got out on that railing, got down, tied the GoPro to that post, and just left for about an hour. And we got home and could not believe the footage we had. It was incredible. And in this, you can actually see a bass. You can see why their tails get so roughed up. And you can actually see this fish's tail, this male, from fanning this bed. But what was also more intriguing was the motions that he's seen. And this is stuff you can notice when you're actually fishing for bedding fish. When you see them popping their mouth real fast, that's actually them trying to rush the predators out of there. What I mean by predators is the bluegill and the shiners and the turtles and everything that's trying to get to those eggs. There were several instances, and I don't know what ran this bass out of the bed, but you can see immediately when he leaves the bed, the bluegill and the brim just come in and just start attacking those eggs and going crazy. And when he comes back in, he flushes them back out again. There's also scenarios. I can remember we were fishing a tournament in Virginia, and I can remember when you came across a bed that was empty and it had turtles in it, that bass had either moved on or something else, because they would just be sitting there laying on the bottom, 8, 9, 10 of them where those eggs were. This scenario was no different. This turtle kept harassing this male on this bed, and it's almost like the brim knew when to take advantage of that, because the turtle would come in, the bass would run the turtle out, and those brim would immediately come in, eating all of those eggs. You know, when you see a situation like that, you think, hey, how do these bass even produce 4, 5, 10, 15 fry? How does that happen with this going on for days and days before the fry hatch out? But did you know a largemouth bass can lay anywhere from 2,000 to 7,000 eggs per pound of its body weight? So you take a 5-pound female, they're laying 35,000 eggs. Think about that and how many fry are going to be hatched out. So even though this process of all of these brim and everything coming into this nest and really harassing this male bass that's guarding this nest, still the majority are going to survive, and it's just a pretty cool deal to see.